Y'all ready? Ready?
We are
So,
already ready.
3, 2, 1. Hello, everybody. This is episode 1, or Mickey, how do you want to say it?
I think it's an episode.
Okay,
I feel like it's an
all right. So,
episode.
this is episode 1 of the Order of Remembrance. We're so
Yes.
happy to have you all here today. I'm sitting here with my beautiful co-host, Amickoleh Imani, founder of On the Cusp Wellness. And Amickoleh, if you want to tell them a little bit more about yourself, and please feel free to give us all the beautiful things that you're doing and what is On the Cusp Wellness.
Yes, thank you so much, Arianna. So my name is Amickoleh Imani. I am an artist, photographer, singer-songwriter, writer. I'm a healer. I work in the realm of energetic medicine through the chakras and elemental medicine as well, and so many other modalities in the energetic field. But those are my two modalities that I work with. And then I'm also a soul guide. So I support people in connecting deeper to their soul's unique medicine, their purpose, their unique gifts, their creativity, their artistry. Just, I really believe that our soul is designed to express itself in really unique and authentic ways through our individual lived experience and just different modalities that we're drawn to that really activate us and inspire us. And I think it's our birthright, it's our privilege, it's a necessity for all of us to be in conversation, in communication with whatever those modalities look like. And I'm a firm believer that we're all creative, we all have an artistic edge, voice, essence, all of that. It's just looking at it from that lens and looking at it like what makes you really unique, valuable, special, all of that. And so much of my work is really like reclaiming your power, reclaiming your presence, reclaiming your authenticity, reclaiming your soul, like, reclaiming your intuition. So like really tapping into intuitive development and getting an understanding of like, how does the universe communicate through you and to you? How does your soul communicate to you and through you? What does that look like? And it's so different for all of us. And that's why that artistry and that creativity is so important, because we're all drawn to different kind of creative things and layers and modalities. And that's the universe speaking to us. That's our soul wanting to be in expression with itself, with the divine, with our lived experience, with our emotional body, So it all like weaves into itself. It seems disparate, but as I've been doing this work, I'm like, wow, all of this really just layers on top of each other. And the thing that I've taken away from that through my work is that be who you came here to be. That's going to be the most like painless,
Say that again.
like be who you came here to be. Whatever you're like, whatever catches your attention, whatever lights you up, whatever excites you, whatever that thing is that takes you down the rabbit holes. It's like that. That's our calling. That's our medicine. That's our mission right there. And like we owe it to ourselves to pursue that and to be curious around it and to allow it to support us and to share that with the world around us. So that's my medicine. That's my philosophy. That's what I teach people through On the Cusp Wellness. And, just really supporting people and like looking at reality through different lenses, right? And through a lens that really supports them in creating the kind of reality that like just lights them up, that just brings them so much joy and fulfillment. I feel like we all deserve that. The whole entire world deserves that. And that is like that's my piece of the collective stewardness, tendingness, tending to-ness.
Yep, the whole world definitely deserves it, like you said.
Yeah.
So
that's gonna be our piece. That's gonna be our alignment right there.
That's our alignment. I mean, the whole world does deserve to live in its authentic self and to really see it through. It's about time. We only been here for how many years? 10,000 years, 30,000 years. How many other 1,000 years? I don't even know. But
the jig is up. Okay, the time is now.
The jig is up. It's time. It's time. It's time to go through this. But so being my beautiful co-host of Order of Remembrance, you called into the space. What drew you into the space? And then I'll tell the people. I'll bore the people with my stuff.
Oh my goodness. What drew me into the space as far as what specifically?
Like, what do you think aligns us more so? Before I go into us, I
feel like since day one, it's been like our interest with like spirituality and like higher consciousness. I think it's that, but it's deeper than that. I think it's been our just innate like desire to like know the truth and like what is real and what is the truth. And
It's
then, you know,
hers.
through that, because like you were the first person, it's ironic that we're even sitting here, like you were the first person that like really blew my mind open of like just all the different like philosophical teachings and like how they're all like how they all trickle down one from another into each other back again, and like how they're actually not all that different, and just how religion has been used in these ways as like a mechanism for like societal control and like all of that. And so like I'm like coming, I can't remember the name of the documentary that you sent me, but like you sent me that, I was the only person in my group that I sent that to that was like, whoa. Everyone else was like shook. They were like, oh my God, wait, you like, they were like scared. I was like, no, something about this feels true. Something about this feels
I scared
right.
your friends away.
I was like, something about this is, I
No,
believe
you
this.
never
No,
told me
no,
that. No, I don't want to be a boogeyman to nobody.
no, but it's not that. They just weren't ready for it.
Yeah,
And
I
like my
understand
consciousness
too.
was ready for it. It was like, no, something about this. Let me peel. You remember that movie, The
Which,
Harry Truman Show? It's like with Jim
yes,
Carrey.
yes, with
That's
vegetarian.
that's how I was starting to look at reality. I'm like, let me peel back. Let me
Peel it back, and then you were
throw
breaking
this
fourth
shoe at the
walls and fifth
sky and
walls.
look at
Yes,
the, you
girl.
know? I was
Yes.
like, something about this. I don't know. Something
Hmm.
about this ain't. Let's
Listen, we will
alone.
get into one of these episodes. We're gonna talk about Gnosticism and Hermeticism. We're gonna dig into all that stuff for
Yeah,
real.
yeah,
Before they
yeah.
think that
But
we
just like
trapped.
exactly, but just like deconstructing reality. And I think it's so interesting that my work now revolves around like creating your own reality and just and you know yeah, and we'll get into it as the episodes go on and maybe in this conversation, but just like really looking at reality through these different layers that like I choose to see them through. You know what I mean? It's like we've been indoctrinated. Society tells us how to act, how to behave, what to do. Our family tells us how to act, how to behave, what to do, what to pursue. And I was just like, no, I need to know, like, what does my soul say about this? What is the truth about this? Like, how can I see this through my own lens in a way that makes sense to me and in a way that feels aligned to me? So whenever you and I sit down and break bread, it always weaves, somehow we weave into, it don't matter if we talk about taxes, we talk about whatever, it's just like we just get into
Listen,
spirituality.
everybody, we
It
be
just,
weaving everything in. We be having whole work shifts,
yeah.
6 to 8 hours of just like disconnect to this and disconnect to that. And I think what it was it, we tag team tiredness. So
Yeah.
like by the time we get on the conversation, I'd be like, yeah, girl, like this was such a great discussion. I'm gonna go take a nap.
Yeah. And I
Because
was
I
like,
need
okay,
to
well,
get
I gotta walk my
download and
dog.
come in. Like I need to process everything, and we be trading that off with each other. And then the other one
Yeah.
will be like, "Yeah, girl, you sleeping? Oh no, I'm about to go work. I'm about to go type in this. And, oh yeah,
Yeah.
it's been a long time. It's been a couple years we've known each other.
It's
So
been longer than that, child. It's been
yeah,
before the
it's been
pandemic.
yeah. We knew each other
And we
what
already 6 years into that.
17, 16?
Yeah, probably like 20. It was
Yeah,
interesting because
it's been
like
around 10
our moms,
years.
that's, that's this for everyone who
Yes.
knows, like our moms were friends and you
Hmm.
and I had still never met. Mom's been friends for how many years?
Yeah,
Never met.
right. Well, you know how that
And I'm
works.
like, who is this daughter that she say she got? I ain't never seen Ariana. I'm like, where is she at?
Right, right. And it just so happened. It just so happened for anyone who doesn't know. I literally was like, "Oh, this is Mickey. This is Amickoleh," and she was just like, Not right now, girl. Hold on, let me take this picture. Hold on." And she was so in her business. She was like, "No, I'm gonna say hi just in a second." Chick, 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 chick. And you can take it. So I'm just sitting there like, "No, I'm gonna wait," because she don't know we sisters. I'm gonna wait. So I'm just watching you just do what you do for real,
So
and
wild.
that was history. Everything else is
Oh,
history.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to flip the question to you and then invite you to share about your work and who you are and what you do.
Oh yeah, so let me bore everybody real quick. No, I'm kidding.
No,
So
boring.
my name is Arianna Apparicio. I go by Coach Apparicio. I call them my placeholders right now, but my placeholders are spiritual philosopher, alignment theologian, and I'm the founder and CEO of Already Aligned by Design, which is a modern school of spiritual philosophy dedicated to the three core pillars: remembrance, reclaiming, and realignment. I have over 10 years in leadership and finance and accounting, and I switched over to spiritual studies, philosophical theory, and cultural analysis.
Mm,
So I wrote a book. I author a book with, I say co-author because I give AI its credit because I love AI. I'm more of the optimist when it comes to that, but it's called Already Aligned, the Codex to Remembering Infinity, and it basically culminates all my theories so far that I have in terms of originating a couple theories that I have, the 11 universal threads, which we basically talk about the laws that unite all of humanity, the four eras of humanity. So I break down the eras into the physical era, the logical era, the emotional era, and then finally the spiritual era, and then foundational remembrances. So again, I've just really been always tapped into, like you said, I've been so tapped into spirituality my whole life and philosophy my whole life and theology my whole life. And it was always my calling. So
Mm.
accounting took me into more of like the logical, physical understanding of humanity. But the spiritual and emotional understanding I was doing all of my life through reading and looking at different religions and philosophies, going into history. I'm such a history nerd. And
Mm-hmm.
that's where Already Aligned comes in. So we opened a school. We changed the business model, so it's more like a modern school now. And our vision, for anyone who doesn't know, I'll read our vision statement, but our vision statement is um, that we envision a world where humanity remembers and harnesses its inherent divinity. So going back to what Amickoleh said about us being divine in our core. At Already Aligned by Design, we imagine a global renaissance of alignment where individuals live with purpose, with integrity, and love from remembrance. In this future, aligned leaders transform systems, elevate communities, and shape culture through the universal language of alignment and purpose. Through this language, we envision humanity returning to its original memory that we were never separate, only becoming who we were destined to remember.
Mm.
And as a school of modern spiritual philosophy, we are committed to guiding this awakening, cultivating leaders who embody clarity, compassion, and conscious evolution. So it
Cool.
is my lifelong dream to do this. Um, I've been doing it almost like just being a good friend to humanity, the friend that I would like to encounter in this infinite game of life.
Mm.
As Simon Sinek says, the infinity game. But
Yes.
it's been an honor and a pleasure to have the friends that I have, cultivate the community that I have, and Mickey knows this because I talk about this, I think, in every conversation we have, but it's such an honor and blessing to have met you,
Oh,
and to
likewise.
just she inspired me to get a mic. So you guys are hearing me for the first time ever. It doesn't matter if you heard me on your deprogram podcast with Jason Andre Roberts or on my YouTube videos. This is my first time using the official Blue Yeti microphone to get my voice out there because God knows that I was giving everyone static, and she was the nicest one.
Literally.
You were the nicest one to me to say, Ari, you got to do something about this. You got coach, come on, coach. And I'm just like, I'm trying. Everything get kind of put together. I got the lights. I got the studio. I got this.
Listen, my first three episodes of my podcast were recorded either on my phone or on my laptop. Okay, so you got to do what you got to do to get
Yeah,
started.
listen,
That's what you got to do.
this is always what I promised them in your D program. I said every time we hit you with another episode, we're gonna be upgraded. So you get to
Come
come on.
on now.
Right. We evolve, right? So it's just like y'all evolving with us, y'all growing with us,
You welcome.
and
Shoot, you
yes,
get to
right.
evolve with
Listen,
us.
listen, we gotta evolve together. We
That's
gotta
a
walk. We got a
that's
long
a
walk.
privilege.
We
That's a
got a long walk to
privilege.
go. We might as well enjoy it. Like,
Okay, come on now. You can go ahead and
but
get
yeah, again, it's been
along.
a pleasure and an honor. And as you guys could hear, we have so much in common, and that's where the Order of Remembrance came in. So the Order of Remembrance for us was just us merging our modalities, merging our philosophies, merging our missions in an attempt to attract all the people who resonate on the same frequency as us, the same
Yes.
purpose, whatever they feel aligned to do in their life, that as long as it's hitting on spiritual cylinders, emotional cylinders, logical cylinders, like we all kind of catch each other. And we
Mm-hmm.
just, I guess, right? Allow each other to know that we're here. You don't have to walk it alone. We could walk together. So,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes. Just like that was that old African proverb, if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far,
Or
you
go
gotta
with
go
someone. I never
together.
heard that.
You really?
I
Yeah.
didn't know it was an African proverb. I mean, I didn't know it was an
Mm-hmm.
African proverb, but that makes
Yeah.
sense. That makes sense in that part of the world. That makes sense. So, no, but it's old wisdoms like that that you know that humanity has always been trending to this. And
Mm.
it's such a blessing to be in this life because I feel like those wisdoms are coming back into people's souls.
They
We're starting to
are.
want to embody it now because you start to realize that we overcomplicated things, you know?
Man,
So it's just
so
like,
much. And that's like
mhm,
that's like one of my pillars for this year, for my work this year and for my life
mhm,
is like I want to have fun, I want to make a lot of money, and I want to help a lot of people. And it gets to be easy, it gets to be effortless. And spirit, I was actually talking to myself about this again today. Something in my spirit hit real. It was I don't know which ancestor it was, but Amen and Ashe. One of my
mm,
ancestors was like, we've already laid the foundation. We've already sacrificed. We've already broken our backs. We've
yes,
already worked the crate. We've already
yes.
done this.
We
You
stand on
don't
the backs
have
of
to.
giants. Yes, we do.
Like, and I was like, I'll be damned if my ancestors put in all the work and the sacrifices that they did for me to be here as free as I am, as black as I am, to be a modern day slave. I will not.
Listen, can I tilt my head any more to the side? Can I? Oh, I got big old eyes, girl. So let me open it up a little bit for you.
Church
Yes,
finger, I will
absolutely.
not
She said it again.
be no one's modern day
She will
slave
not
under
allow
no
herself to be a
circumstances,
modern day
underneath
slave.
anybody's systems. I refuse. I just had to put my foot down.
Yeah.
And I
Yes.
feel like things have
Absolutely.
been shifting because my identity has been shifting, and it's like that is what I'm commanding now as my reality, as my new normal, as like this is how we're operating.
Yeah.
This is my remembrance.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to work this hard. It's unnecessary.
Listen, I don't know if someone's bass just rattled in they in their car. Like it's like the power you speaking, girl. Watch out. Cause you
Like,
you gonna
no.
move somebody. They gonna be like, man, bump this job. They gonna turn around, you turn. Yes. No, but it's true. Like once you feel it, or how me and my mother was talking about the other day, once you remember, you can't unremember.
Yes.
Once you know, you can't unknow. You know what I mean? It's almost like
Hmm.
again, it's like losing an innocence. Once you lose
Yeah.
it, it don't come back. But it gives you so much power. And with that power
Hmm.
comes the responsibility of holding it to yourself. For
Yes.
sure.
Yes.
Absolutely. But that's what the order of remembrance is about, everybody. So we about to get
Yes.
into it because this has been something that Amickoleh and I have basically cultivated and drafted the idea around. But again, we're so grateful for everyone who tunes in. And I think we should give them a synopsis of what they should come to expect, like what we have them call here. Listen, the universe
Yes.
called you here, so we're gonna start laying down as to why the universe called you here today.
Let's do that. Okay. Alrighty. So, what is the Order of Remembrance? So, the Order of Remembrance is a living philosophical and spiritual community devoted to remembering what humanity has never truly lost, which is their identity, purpose, and connection to Source. It is not a religion, doctrine, or belief system. It is a space of remembrance. That's literally what this container is here for, where theology, philosophy, metaphysics, science, and lived experience meet to help people understand who they are, why they're here, and how to live in alignment with truth.
Yes. The order exists to explore reality at its roots. These being the nature of consciousness, the relationship between the mind and the heart, the balance of masculine and feminine intelligence, the evolution of humanity through the four intelligence eras, and the deeper structure of existence through divinity, infinity, eternity, and finitude. Rather than telling people what to believe, our order invites inquiry, reflection, and integration. It is a place for thinkers, seekers, healers, leaders, and all embodied humans who feel that something ancient is
Mm.
returning and want language, structure, and community to hold that remembering.
I love that. At its core, the Order of Remembrance exists to help people. One, move from confusion to clarity, which is very important.
Yes.
Two, from fragmentation to coherence. Three, from survival to alignment. And then lastly, from forgetting to embodied truth. So this is not about escaping the world. This is about learning how to live consciously within it, or simply put, the Order of Remembrance is a community for those who feel they were never lost, just only remembering. And those people are ready to live in according to that remembrance. So if that is you, if anything that we just shared resonated with you at a soul level, welcome home, friend, as I like to say.
Welcome home. Welcome back and welcome home, friends. Yes. So we are super excited. This is going to be just such a transformational thing. And we just want to thank you all, everyone, for tuning in. If you feel called home, if you feel like, wow, this is something ancient stirring, I don't know why I feel like I'm remembering this, that keyword right there has you here.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Love that. You know, one of the things that I was talking about, that I was mentioning earlier that I wanted to bring into this conversation was like my morning practice, right? And so I'm installing this like 40K reality. I'm just gonna be very transparent about like what I'm optimizing for, what I'm gearing up for, what I'm allowing myself to receive, have, and hold.
Yes.
And a part of that, I was reflecting on myself, like, okay, what is this 40K version of self doing? Like, what's her day to day? Like, how is she moving into her day? And I had like a really beautiful, slow morning earlier this week. I got up, I walked my dog, did my thing. I took a nice hot bath, like an hour and a half.
Yes.
I
Yes.
revisited a tarot reading that I had done a couple months ago. And it was just like moving slower, moving more like more embodied, moving more with trust, moving more with like everything is happening.
Like the
Everything is in
flow
its
of
place.
time, like you're
Yes.
flowing. Love that.
Yeah, so I've been doing reality work and identity work. And so a part of that was like, Spirit was like, you should name your realities. I've been working also with like the energy of detachment. Like, how do I detach enough to be coherent in what I need to get done and not under the influence, if you will, of like old reality, old patterns, old belief sets, all of that. So I was like, okay, the name of this reality is like the piece of alignment. So when I'm in that piece of alignment, like that's how I know I'm in my 40K reality. That's how I know I'm moving authentically, I'm moving intuitively, I'm moving at the pace that's like going to call in the manifestations that I desire, right? Okay, so going back to that morning practice. Part of that morning practice that morning was I went back and read one of my journal prompts just from the day before.
Okay.
And I used to do that all the time during the pandemic. I was journaling heavy and I
Every
was like
day.
studying my journals. Because I was just getting downloads and it was like medicine, and it was insight, and it was directive. So I was going back to study it to be like, okay, what came through, or what do I use, or what was that vision, or what happened when I went through that meditative journey. And I really noticed like how much more connected I felt to my soul and to myself. And so just going back and reading that journal prompt, or just that journalings that I had did, it was just like such a small thing to do, but it was like that energetic shift to be like, oh, right, that's who I am. That's how I'm operating. That's what, that energy, that essence, that vibration feels like. And so I've always been a huge advocate. I've done so much work around morning routine and morning practice. You get into the business space or the entrepreneurial space, and you're like the 5 a.m. club and the this, and make sure you do that, and get your protein
Listen,
shake and your green
girl,
drink, and make sure you get
listen.
your apple cider
Balance,
vinegar water,
balance,
your lemon water, and your
balance,
this water, your that water, and like
balance,
do this
balance,
before 7
balance,
a.m. and do
balance,
that. Get to
balance.
your desk right now.
Yes.
Like, I was like,
Listen,
okay,
you
that
get
does
sucked
not
into
work.
that world and you don't know who you are. You a robot. You AI. You AI on some real talk. It lacks balance. It really does. It really
Yes,
lacks balance. Those cultures, it does.
yes. And so
As
I
as
was
former
like,
member of the 5 a.m. Former member of the
listen,
5
and
a.m.
you know what? I dip and dab, but
But see
it's like when
that?
it feels aligned.
Yes.
Like
Yep.
that bath that I take that bath at 5 o'clock in the morning. But like
Yeah.
that's what I wanted to do at 5 o'clock in the morning. You know what I mean? I
Absolutely.
wanted to
The
take a
same way
bath.
that the spirit might call you into an overnight and you're not to guilt yourself
Yeah.
going like, man, I'm not gonna get my 8 hours of sleep. It's like you'll make it up.
Yes.
Relax. Calm down.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
weird.
And just like trusting that, yeah, like you said, trusting that wave, trust where your energy is flowing. And so I bring up that piece of like the morning practice, the morning meditation, the morning ritual, because I really believe that like our morning practice should be in service to our remembrance. It should be us remembering ourselves, bringing ourselves back into wholeness, bringing
Yes.
ourselves back into the awareness of like, oh, what am I here to be doing? Oh, what
Absolutely.
is it that I'm working on? Oh, what is it that's lighting me up?
Yes.
Because we're not they always say we're not promised tomorrow,
We're
but
not.
we're also not promised to wake up the next day feeling like we're going to conquer the world. So, like, what are we doing to shift to be able to observe and acknowledge that, and then
Yes.
still leverage it and shift into the energy that's going to best support us and serve us?
Absolutely, because that's the balance that um, we even have a law of balance or a law of equilibrium in the 11
Mm,
threads. And that's what it talks
mm-hmm,
about. Because if you remember Buddha's teachings were saying that, no extreme is good. You have
mm-hmm,
to find a balance. And that is what the purpose of life is striking a good balance. And
mm-hmm,
it can come inside with alignment as well. But when you even think about, like you said, like, okay, I'm waking up every day at 5 a.m. But it's like, but what is your body saying? Does your body even like that you wake up at 5 a.m.? Like, are you listening to yourself? Because
mm-hmm,
how much time do you need in a day to get it done? And um, it's something very interesting that you said, because even with centering back to yourself, waking up, I think there's a couple core tenets that fall into that. You
mm-hmm,
have to, Eckhart Tolle talks about the presence of now, which is great.
mm-hmm,
But I do think humanity does better balancing itself. I propose that balancing your history, your present time, and your future gives you the most
mm,
comprehensive picture of what you want. So you
mm,
learn from your history, you learn what you want to replicate again or what you want to get better at. You apply it to your now for your future self, right? And
right.
it allows that thread, but future is always faith. And I think that's where you come in,
Mm.
where it's like, who are you talking to when you said, well, what do you want me to do today? And it's like once you tap into that, you're like,
Ooh,
oh,
I love that.
you're talking to someone now.
Yeah.
You're talking to someone. You're just like,
Ooh.
huh. So what I do in my personal life, when I pray, I acknowledge I am a vessel and I acknowledge that I am a servant to the creator, to source, whatever name or identity you want to give it, it transcends all identity. So it's the only one that's
Mhm.
not tripping. If you say, hey, listen, call me whatever, like I made y'all, right? So it's like, call me
Right.
a rock, call me a tree, call me whatever you want to call me. And I just acknowledge that I'm a servant, I'm a vessel, I'm going to move, but I'm always your vessel. So what
Mm.
that allows for me to do is say, oh, wait, I'm getting a download. I want to do this, but I'm being called to do that.
Mhm.
Or, man, I'm just sitting down in the house today. I'm not really doing anything. And then I remember sometimes I'll be hearing spirit going like, no, you're not doing anything. You're staying still. You're
Ooh.
staying still because I'm giving you something. I'm delivering you something. So just wait.
Mm.
Because if you move it, how am I going to deliver it to you? You got to stay here. So it's one of those things to where you say, like, when you wake up in the morning, you think of morning routines. What the 5 a.m. club taught me is that it basically got me into the routine of, yeah, I wake up and say thank you every day
Mm.
consistently. And it reminds me to say, I am a vessel and a servant to you.
Mhm.
And I say these things, I say, please use me, shape me, and mold me to the way that you see fit.
Yeah.
And that's the trust, that's the faith, because we control only what we can control, and everything else is out of our control. And that's a
Mhm.
balance too. Don't freak out about the things you cannot control. Look at the things you can control and be happy.
Yeah.
Be happy figuring that out. And everything that you cannot control, also find a peace with that and have a
Mm.
faith that everything's going to work out. But it is that faith, it is that believing in something and whatever people talk to, remembering, I think anyway, proposing that there is a creator. The
Yeah.
creator is loving, the creator is intentional. So
Mm.
sometimes when you're sitting there aligning to yourself and you're praying in the morning, you're looking at the mirror, you're looking all good, and you're just like, okay, so I'm dressed for the day. Sometimes you just need to sit
Mhm.
there. I'm dressed for the day, and you just look at me. I sit. What am I doing today? Like, and sometimes you just be
Yeah.
sitting there looking at something, just like you don't have to have it all figured out. Sometimes it's meant to come.
Yes.
Sometimes it's meant to come. So it's just like, well, I don't feel like, I feel like I'm not doing it if I'm just sitting still. Sit, sit. You rushing. Your spirit is literally telling you to wait. Because remember,
Mm.
time doesn't exist to outside of our existence. So
Mm-mm.
you might think you're taking a long time, but like the video said that was really great. I can't remember this young man's name. He said God will always make up for time you think is lost.
Yeah.
So yeah, that morning routine is so important, and I pray that people do remember to do that. It's such a grounding thing to do,
Mhm.
because the world is so busy, time moves forward, and what they say with or without you,
Yeah.
life moving on. So you have to really ground yourself in it because you are the only one who can really center you at the end of the day.
Yep.
So how
Yep.
did it feel to get back into like you said, you balancing out and now you're looking at the journal prompts and stuff like that? find yourself going into it every day again, or it's just like whenever you feel it, it's just like, okay,
No,
I'm
for right now, as I'm stabilizing into it, it's definitely like I did this morning. I made my coffee and I like to sat down, had my coffee, and just like reread my entry from yesterday, and I journaled as my um was it yesterday? Today's the ninth. It was like the day before yesterday. Because I journaled as my 40K stuff. I was like, oh my god, we just hit our first 40K day, and just like just really anchoring that new reality. Like this is my normal. Like this is
go
this is
into that a
literally a
little bit. What's the
Tuesday.
40K? Go into just for anyone who doesn't understand. Why
Oh, like
40K? What's that?
well, okay. So I'm expanding my financial capacity to receive, right? And so this book that I'm reading it's called Rich as Fuck by Amanda Francis. And one of the things that she recommends in this book is she's like, once you decide on like whatever your new financial minimum is going to be, like that thing that okay, I'm going to set this goal. And once I hit that goal, like that's going to be like, I'm going to keep hitting that goal, right? I'm just going to make the decision that that's my new normal. Yeah. She was like, once you have that figure, she's like, you then have to make that figure, like make that normal and find a way to make that seem low.
Okay.
So you're not pedestalizing the number. You're not like, oh my God, I'm trying to get
or idolizing the number.
Exactly. Right. She's like, you gotta make it look like that's actually a low month if I hit that, And I was like, oof, okay. Like we already stabilizing into one number. Now I'm looking at it like that's nothing.
That's my normal. Yeah.
But I had to do that work of like, okay, if in order to normalize that, what's another number that I would be advocating for having already been reaching that consistently? And the next number was like 100K months. And I was like, ooh,
listen, I'm taking notes right now and I'm hug counting. Okay. So I'm taking notes and I'm like, oh, stabilize, low number. Wait, what? Okay. All right. I like this fusion, this dance of spirituality and finance. I like it.
Yes, honey.
Take notes, everybody, because listen, I hear a couple people going like 25K and 50K, 102K. Like, yes, call it out.
Yes, getting into the energy of money, and so I was okay, but what would make that seem like a really low number? And I was like, ooh, 100K a month. I was like, could you imagine making 100K a month? Like, what in the world am I doing making 100K a month? And so it just kind of sent me down this rabbit hole of okay, like I've already sat down, I've built out a 10K offer. I built out a 10K offer that could be monthly. So, I just started kind of seeing like, oh, it's coming, like it's clicking. And I'm like, okay, if I were to have a 40K day, how would that have been possible? Mm-hmm. Or a 40K month, excuse me. If I would have had a 40K month, what would that be possible? And I was like, or 100K month, excuse me. If I would have a 100K month, how would that be possible? So then I kind of came up with this like scenario of like, well, what if I had a 10K day? If I had a 10K day, my goal for the month is 10K. What would I do? I'm just gonna go, okay, well, I hit my 10K.
9 days. Yeah.
Exactly. I just hit my 10K and I'm done. I'd be like, no, I'd go for 100K. Like I'd go for that next.
You could go above it.
Yeah. And so that's when I started like just doing that energetic work of like letting that. How could this happen? Oh my God, me? I could do this, and let that fall away, and just like getting into the practice of like, this is my normal. Like this is Tuesday. Like this is like what else? What else would I be working on? What else would I be building if we just hit this goal? Now what does that give me the capacity to do? What am I thinking of next? Like what am I? And so in just moving through that energy and not getting stuck like, oh my God, how am I gonna make 10K? How am I gonna? It's like that's already shifted. We've alriady done that.
We already done it.
Yeah. And so now we're just letting reality catch up to the energetic field, to the energetic state, to the embodiment.
I love that. Mm-hmm. That's great, because I'm just like, oh wow, that's a perfect fusion to me. Like I'm hearing it out. I'm just like, because we have like goals and metrics and stuff, as you know, and data and stuff like that. But the fact that it brought in like a spiritual, emotional component where it's just like, oh, it's meant to make you feel safe. It's meant to make you release the fear. Yes. Of, oh, wow, like how could this be me? And it's like, why not you? If you literally put it out there like, oh yeah, this is my 40K month, you already say it. And we and you remember the frequency and voice speaking. God spoke life, right? That's what they said. Yes. He spoke life into existence. So yeah, speaking your reality before reality catches up is very, very important, because you're basically forming it. Yeah, so I love that. Listen, for any financial gurus out there, any brokers out there just listening, going like, "Is this really true?" Listen, I'm telling you, 15 years behind you'd be surprised how much spiritual stuff goes on to the people who
Mm-hmm.
manifest finance. You'd be very
Mm-hmm.
surprised. Manifestation is real. It's a real concept. People might not call it that. They might feel like it's trendy or something like that, but you really do call in because it's the same way you speak life into yourself. You can speak life into your life, like everything
Mm.
inside of you. So it's just like you can sit here and as you were saying before with the world too, right? Like the world will come in and
Yeah.
tell you everything that you are, tell you everything that you should be, what you should be doing, what you should be this, should be that. And the only person that matters in all of that is you. So if you sit
Yes.
here and say, hey, listen, I'm going to make 100K next month doing my basket business, my gift basket business,
Come on
that's
now.
what I'm going to do. And
Mm-hmm.
then you speak that reality and now you're putting in the work because you put it on you.
Yeah.
Well, how you going to make 100K? Well, I got to get up. I got to do it because you're taking back the power for yourself and how much um, a friend of mine was just talking about this the other day about how the world really humanity's so young because we fear
Mm.
ourselves. You can tell humanity
Yes.
moves in the insecurity of itself because you can only
Mm.
imagine how powerful we will be when everyone remembers how powerful they are individually. Like how
Mm.
much we can just say things into will, we can say things into existence. Like that is such a powerful thing. And we're coming out of that logical and we're starting to understand, like, wow, why do I let people speak death into me? Why do I let people
Mm.
speak me down? Why do I let people tell me that's a dumb idea? Like,
Mm.
why?
Why'd I let myself tell myself?
Talk about it. Talk about it. The
Like
insecurity
really
is so
shifting that
real.
internal narrative. That's been a part of my work too, of like spirit being like, okay, if this is your new reality, you are going to have to construct an internal narrative that
System and
supports this
narrative,
new reality.
absolutely.
You can't be
100%.
tearing yourself down on the inside and expecting to go
Yeah.
build an empire,
Talk about it. Talk about it. Because that's what
you
we'll do.
know?
We'll give up because it's the insecurity. It's the insecurity of it. And we're in that era, I think, of humanity where it's like we're fighting off and we're starting to look at insecurities as kind of silly. Like it's just like, well,
Hmm.
why is it that all of humanity can't have this power? And why is it that we can't, manifest our best selves? And aren't we supposed to be doing each other the favor? Like if I see
Hmm.
you living less authentically than me, aren't I supposed to open up the door for you so that you
Mm.
can reach your fullest potential? If we
Yes.
love like the creator, then my whole job to you would be to what? Make sure that you actualize the potential the creator made you with.
Mm.
I fail in my job if I don't do that. Or
Hmm.
like my favorite game says, for those who come after, I fail if I don't allow more doors to be open behind me. If I don't allow for
Mm.
more pathways to open behind me because I'm only walking down a path, as you said, that the giants behind me opened for me.
Hmm.
They opened that door. They didn't walk through it. They opened the door for me. And they opened the door for all of us to step through so that we can what? Return the favor, give it back to somebody else, open up another door that another person couldn't open and let them walk through. It's not for you to walk through, it's for them. You get the joy seeing
Mm.
them walk through it. So it's just really,
Wow.
really important that we start to really recognize that, and you can see it with the globalization of how the world's going. It's like we're so tired of the insecurities that humans have with
Yeah.
ourselves. Like it's just like,
Yeah.
why don't you speak life more? Why don't you know that humans can be peaceful? Why don't you know that humans can be loving? Why don't you know these things? Why can't you remember them? And it's like, oh, because a few of us are so insecure that they want to control the narrative and they want us to
Mm.
feel weak. They want to trick us with the dem girl, listen, the way that me and my friend went in the other day, we were just like, man, like they really do trick us into thinking that we can't be as powerful as Jesus. We can't be as powerful as Buddha, as Krishna. We can't be as powerful as the Gnostics called that we're trapped in the demiurge. I was like, how can I come from
Mm.
divinity and let a lesser god trap me? Like what? Like it's just like so it's just challenging those things and going like, I do not subscribe to that narrative. I denounce that narrative.
Revoke consent, as I
Revoke
like
it,
to say.
girl.
I revoke
Listen, ban,
consent.
ban, curse out, be gone. Like it's just like I'm not taking on that
Okay.
narrative for myself. So now you sit here with yourself and go like, okay, if you denounce that narrative, what's the narrative you're telling you now?
Hello.
And that's where it comes right back into me what you're saying. It's like you are drafting your own narrative and you're not allowing
Hmm.
the world to put a narrative on you. And that is a key remembrance of power. So I
Yes.
call it the law of power too. It's just like
Yeah.
this is the power you're coming back to yourself in. And it's just a click. No one has to teach you. Everyone just guides you. But it's
Hmm.
something you internally know. So you are literally stepping into your power when anybody says like Oh yeah, you know what? I'm gonna change this around today.
Mm-hmm.
You're not the first one. And thank God people came before us. 'Cause it's like you ain't the first
Yes.
one to leave medical school, to go travel the world. You're not the first one to go into biology to become an accountant. You're not the only one to leave
Mm-mm.
3 doctorates to become a comedian. You're not the first
Okay.
one.
Be this close to completing the doctorate, mind you.
The third one, the third one, the third.
And be like, no, actually, I'm not going to do this.
Listen, yeah, it's just like 21 years. But you know what? Comedy is my thing. So I'm gonna go over
Mhm.
there.
Yeah.
Listen, we even if, and that's what we talked about success, right? Even
Hmm.
your success is even your narrative. Your
Yes.
success is your narrative. A lot of people drive home the money thing. I was like, man, accounting really opened my eyes to a lot of things. I wish I could, if there was one thing I could tell humanity to remember,
Mm.
money don't bring you happiness at all. It
Mm.
really don't. And being around a lot of money and seeing people who got money, the advice they always gave me was so crazy because they always said, enjoy life. The enjoyment of life is not in the pursuit of money. It's not. And
Hmm.
if you have, and this is something that's crazy too, because we talk about masculine energies a lot, and I propose that we live in the logical era, right? So it's just
Hmm.
like we've come here off of the patriarchy. If men are telling you that money is not the end goal, and they have all the resources, they not telling you it's that, you have to sit here and scratch your head and go like, so what is it? And then you
Hmm.
have look, and then you have us female going like, we told you. We told you. We told you not to be chased. We told you not to war. We told you not. We told you meaning was here. We told you meaning was home. We told you meaning was
Hmm.
family. We told you meaning was friends. We told you meaning was enjoying life. Why are you
Hmm.
chasing and spending 50 years going to senator,
Going to
5,
battle
5 a.m.
in
club,
war.
4 a.m. club? Don't go to work. It's like you could have been snoring.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Snoring, waking up to coffee. You know what I
Mm.
mean? Like what you doing out there? If you don't sit your butt down. So if you have men telling you that, I think it's so crucial because it really is now balancing itself out, which is what we're getting back to. It's the alignment of the planet. It's like everything is coming into everything is starting to understand it has a spiritual root underneath it. You know what I
Mm.
mean?
Hmm.
Especially if you're talking like you're like how we're both saying like you speak it into existence. That is
Yeah.
such a powerful thing. You know how many religions say you speak what you live? You
Hmm.
speak it. So many religions say that we are here because of frequency, light, sound. Like this is why we're here. This is our essence.
Yes.
And you're gonna have people speak death into you more than you speak life into yourself? Not me. No, sir.
Mm. Not me.
No,
Mm.
sir. We're gonna put
Mm.
an extra zero to your 40K. We're gonna call it the 400K month. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna add an extra zero right there.
That's
Because why
coming,
not?
honey.
Why not?
Coming.
Or not
Because
40K,
why not?
400K.
Mm.
400K.
I'm man and not Shay, and so the fuck it is.
Oh yeah. So it shall be. Three
So it shall
times.
be.
I love that, boo. I love that. I'm definitely gonna incorporate that for sure.
Yeah. And you
Yeah.
know what too, so I was telling you earlier, like that this whole practice of embodying this reality,
Hmm.
it has really, I mentioned this earlier, like really looking at where I'm not allowing these things to come through just because of the lens that I'm used to having, the lens that I'm used to seeing the world through, which is like challenge, hard, struggle. You and I talk about suffering,
Yes.
and it's like if I'm eliminating that, not to say that challenges won't come, but I'm like, the universe already got them. They already got roadblocks set up. We already got challenges in place for levels and da 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 da. We don't need to then come on top of this and add more
And add more
challenges.
challenge. Yep.
Like,
Girl, infinitude is challenge. It's ingrained when you're born. It's
mhm,
literally ingrained in you when you're born. You don't have to add any extra. The challenge is death. We all die. So now you're saying, okay, if the challenge is how do I enjoy my time, which I didn't give to myself, then every day you make that meaning, you make that purpose. So you can only
mhm,
imagine that, girl. Listen, like we
mhm.
we get tricked up. We get tricked up. We really do. We really do, but you don't have to add
Yes,
any additional
we
challenge.
get
You are
tricked
so
up.
right. You don't
Um,
have to add any additional challenge. It's so true.
Yeah. And so what I was going with that was that just incorporating the law of allowance, right? And that was one of the things that I was like, oh, that's something that Arianna talks about, the law of allowance. And so I wanted to hear more of your synthesis around that, the law of allowance, and then also share a little bit about the law that I work with to, because I thought about that and I was like, yeah, I want to hear more of your perspective around that. Because it's even come up, I think it came up briefly. It's come up in our conversations, just you and I talking, but I know it came up, I believe it came up briefly in the Soul Nourishing Boundaries panel that you
Yes,
were a
it
part
did.
of.
Yes.
And so I would really like for you to just dialogue a little bit more around that, like how you came up with that concept, that philosophy, that principle, you know. And then I wanted to share my version of that. My lens
Yeah, of
around that
course.
was just the law of belonging.
Oh, I love that. I love that.
So yeah, I'm curious to hear like just your why the law of allowance. Like, how did that even come through?
Um, that actually came through with me reading the Bible. And I
Mm,
remember in Genesis, he said, I am that I am. It might have been Genesis or Exodus, but they said, they're like, what do we call you? Right? Like, what's your name? And it's like, I am that I am. And
mm-hmm,
I think that that's a very important, um, and even if you talk about Buddha too, right? There's a lot of what I threaded together was that a lot of the holy figures, divine figures that we could look up to and use as mentors in our reality in this time. A lot of them, it's amazing how they had to allow themselves, and the word allowance is so key because we forget that these holy figures, a lot of us in their stories, forget that they fought with their purpose. They fought against things where, like Buddha, for example, he was a whole prince. He had
mm,
everything, like every worldly desire you could ever imagine you want. He had his dad had him basically in a padded mansion. So he
mm,
had food to get fat. He had desire, he had jewelry, he had all these things. And to leave that behind, the word that kept coming up to me is like he had to allow himself. He had to choose because there was nothing forcing him to do anything. It's the same thing when Jesus was fighting in the desert. It's like why die for humanity? Why do these things? It's like
mm-hmm,
because I'm allowing myself to. And I think that that's very powerful. I think that what we often hear is that, oh, you forced me. You forced me to
mm,
do this. I'm forced to do that. And I'm like, well, why do you allow anyone to force you? Why do you allow why do you give them permission?
mm,
So the why behind that became a law for me because as I started to study more theologies, when I started to look into Krishna, when I started to look into the Demiurge and Sophia, with Gnosticism, when I looked into Taoism and the flow, which is literally the way, is the flow,
mm-hmm,
they basically say you choose it. You choose to go this way. And it's always been your choice. It has never been a forced upon narrative. The narrative that we are forced on is us believing we're forced to do anything. That's the narrative.
mm,
So it's just like, wow, if you sit here and go like, okay, why am I doing these things? The minute you can ask yourself why, you're at a crossroads. You're at the
mm,
crossroads. And a lot of holy figures were at those crossroads. And I
mm,
think that's the importance of understanding that our holy figures are human. When Jesus came down, he didn't come down as a sheep. He came down as a human.
mm-hmm,
Buddha was a living human. You know what I mean? Muhammad was a human. So all these people that we're looking at in Krishna, by the way, is woman, human. But then you're sitting here
mm-hmm,
like, wow, there really is something to them knowing their divine person, knowing it, but then choosing and allowing themselves to walk it.
mm,
That's such a powerful thing. And I think we're, again, because we're insecure, humanity's insecure, they force us to forget because it's a
mm,
fear. It's like, well, what do we do if all of humanity understands that they allow themselves to do so and they start freaking out, right? But that's how allowance came into me because I'm just like, wow, it really is just a choice.
mm-hmm,
It really is just a choice of what you want. It really is trusting yourself, not just allowing yourself, but allowing the universe, allow source, allow the creator, allow people, right? Allow people to people. Allow a plant to be a plant. Allow these things to be these things. Because if you don't choose to do it, that's also a choice. If you sit
mm,
here and say, hey, listen, I allow you to be a plant. I allow you to be a tree. And then you go down tomorrow and you go into your backyard and you chop the tree down. Then you stop allowing it to be a tree. Now it's dead. So now, so it's just like it's one of those things where it's like we allow so much. And
Mm.
the law of allowance for me to bring it into remembrance is that remember that you have choices. Remember that it's so important for you to embody that choice, embody that wisdom, and know that it's cooperation with timing.
Mm-hmm.
It's cooperation with divine timing. I allow myself to do this. I allow myself to be this. And then everything else outside of me, I also allow. I allow
Mm.
myself to be in time, not out of time. I'm not born out of time. I'm born in time. So that means I allow myself to operate inside of time. I allow myself to operate within space because I chose to be here.
Mm-hmm.
I chose this. So now I'm allowing all the systems. Oh, so we do age. We do, okay, so if I wanted to get, okay, so I'm allowing this system to work for me. Why do you think we have so many great books on how to strike rich? You just allowing whichever system to work for you to work. But there's
Right.
at least 200 of them that'll tell you how to get, all of them will say, hey, listen, this is how you get to $1 million. This is how you find peace, right? But you're just allowing yourself to find one. You're allowing
Mm-hmm.
yourself to hear one, to resonate with one. And you're just like, oh, yeah, that one out of all 200 of them, that's the one I'm picking. You
Yeah.
just chose that way. Someone looked at that and was just like, nah, I'm not allowing that. I don't like that way. I'm gonna pick that way. You see what I'm saying? So it's just like it's
Mm-hmm.
such a powerful tool, and I just feel like we forget it. But in it, we claim back so much power of ourselves that the world takes from us now because of the insecurity and the fear that humans have for humanity, which we shouldn't have, but we're young. So it's like I don't blame humanity for that. I just think that we're young and we have to come back into higher frequency and higher remembrance together. That's the key. We have to come
Mm-hmm.
in together. Because again, me and you talk, and these are just remembrance from the past. Some
Right.
people remembered it way back then, but they weren't everybody. They were the
Yeah.
few. That's why they were divine. That's why they were holy figures, because they were the rarity in the spot. But
Mm.
now we're remembering more. More and more people are remembering these same things. So now the frequency builds on itself. It
Exactly.
gets higher collectively. It's not just one low high frequency over there and then everyone's low vibrational and be like, if you don't pull yourself down, come down. We not there yet. Like you all the way up here. Why you up here? Why are
Mm-hmm.
we confused by Jesus? No, no, no. You come down. You have to come down. So, a little bit. But now everyone's rising up is like, oh wow, I could really be Buddha. It's like Buddha was born human. Yes, you can be Buddha. Are you
Mm.
allowing yourself to be Buddha?
Mm.
So yeah, that's where the law came from. I had to ask why. And it's such a powerful thread. You see it in a lot of holy figures, a lot of our divine figures. That's just what they choose. It's what they
Mm-hmm.
choose. And their world wasn't hard. Oh, it wasn't easy to choose either. Can you imagine having everything that you ever wanted born to you and choosing to live poor? Choosing to be outside the castle wall, choosing to experience death? He didn't even know what death, Buddha didn't even know what death was before he left the castle. He didn't know
Wow.
sickness. So allowing yourself to do that, and then he became what? Divine. He became
Mm.
divine. Now everyone's trying to go like, well, how do I detach myself and how do I learn balance? I was like, it all started from one person just allowing themselves to trust themselves,
To trust
choosing.
themselves.
Yes, 100%. But that's a thread that I've pulled through perennialism. My view on the world is perennialism. And it's
Okay.
one of the threads that I found. So I call it the thread. I call it one of the universal threads, but in it, it's called the law of allowance.
Yes.
Yes.
Mm.
Yeah.
Beautiful. I love that. The law of allowance. Yeah, that's what I've been tapping into that energy of like, how can I allow this to be easeful? How can I allow this to be in alignment with my vision? How can I allow this to be in alignment with my soul? And then,
Yes.
you talked about earlier, I think you brought up something, I think you were talking about being a vessel and like allowing your
Mm-hmm.
spirit to like shape
Servant
and
in the
mold and
vessel.
guide you. Yeah. And it made me think of something that came through for me that sometime this week, maybe, or even last week around like, that's why attunement is so important. And I was looking at this, the different layers of my reality that feel misaligned because they're out of tune with the frequency that I want to operate in, with the reality, with the harmony of reality that I want to see in my life. And I was just kind of starting to like break it down of like, okay, what would I need to shift so that way these different layers of my life are in alignment, are attuned, so that my life is like living music, living sound. That's how I was looking at. That's how I was seeing my life, because I do a lot of work with
Love that.
music
Like
and
a
stuff.
strum, a beautiful strum on a guitar
Yeah,
or a harp. I
exactly.
love harps. Like it's a
Right.
beautiful, yeah.
Like that harmony. Like
Yes.
how can everything, all of my layers
Harmony.
be in harmony with
Yes.
each other, so that I can be to the highest service of my soul, my purpose, and my vision.
Yes.
Right. And so one of the things that I've been tapping back into with my work, when I was looking at, okay, I'm seeing it through, or I'm curious to see through Arianna's lens, through the law of allowance. And then I tapped in and was like, okay, well, where can I find that layer in my work, right? And so I was brought
Yes, the
to the
law of
law of
belonging.
belonging.
Yes, talk
Yeah.
about it.
And so the law of belonging states that like your unique perspective belongs in the collective. So it's like what you're talking about, reclaiming that power, that right to show up, that right to share, that right to create resonance, that right to allow yourself to not even to allow yourself, but like to allow yourself to release the guise or the
Yes.
illusion that showing up and sharing your truth is what's the word? What was coming up was like the law of identity, which then goes down to the root chakra. So the law of belonging connects
Yeah.
to the crown chakra, right? So I look at I build my systems through the chakra system. And so all of my energetic laws and things are connected to a chakra. So the law of belonging would be connected to the crown chakra, right? Because that's when we're coming back into wholeness, to
Wholeness.
oneness, to
I love
purpose, right?
that.
Like we've ascended, we've transcended, we're enlightened, we understand everything is connected to one, right?
Yes.
And it's kind of also taps into like your infinity cycle, right? It's like you get to the top and then you go back down to the bottom again, right? And so through the chakra system, that more or less would be going back down into the root, right? So going back down into that individuality, to that inner identity, and then creating safety around yourself through that, and then operating from that level of safety, right? And so it's like when you bridge these two together, it really supports you in creating validity around your uniqueness and your authenticity and your purpose. And that was what I was wanting to really anchor deeper into and portal into, even with just like, shifting a new financial reality, right? And I had to come into the awareness of like, I belong in that reality. I belong in that reality because it sustains me. It sustains my work. It allows me to have a greater capacity to show up. It allows me to have a greater capacity to serve. Like I had to really justify why, like you were saying, asking myself the question, well, why don't I get to have this? Well, why do I get to deserve this? Or why do I get to have this? If other people around me may not be ready to hold this kind of vision for themselves, why do I get to do it?
Yes.
And I had to really answer those questions to myself. So because that's where I belong. I belong here. I belong doing this work. And this is how I see it creating enough cushion for me to really be able to show up fully.
Absolutely.
And to like opt out of this societal narrative that like it has to be hard or challenging or it has to be a struggle. Like it gets to be easeful, effortless, because I belong here. This is where I belong. So I'm already in alignment. I'm already attuned to my most authentic reality because this is where I belong. This is what feels right in my soul. It's what feels good to me,
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that belonging piece is really important just for us on a societal level. I feel like we're and I love like your work with the eras, but I feel like we're coming out of this era of like social media, right? And like anchoring more into like community. And one of those things that was coming up for me as I was like processing more of how I'm going to embody this law of belonging is looking at some of like my social wounds, right? Some of those community wounds from childhood, school, family, and like how like that has crippled my sense of belonging, because that was like so much of my like just felt like, where do I belong? Where do I go? Where do I fit in? And trying to shape and mold and shift myself to belong, because no one was teaching me or told me that I already inherently belong, right?
Yes. Yes.
And that's
You
like when I
belong
go
just
back and
for
I
being
do
here.
inner child work, exactly. And when I go back and I do my inner child work, and I'm still kind of like refining those different layers and different aspects that are still requesting a certain level of liberation, if you will. But
Mm-hmm.
I go back and I reprogram myself of like, that was the one thing when I go back and I shift, it's like I shift out of the reality of needing to belong. And I allow myself to just show up authentically and belong where I belong, and not being afraid of like, but I don't want to be ostracized. I don't want to be like, I want to be with the cool kids. I want to be this kind of, I don't want to be like, because that's where I thought I was going to have the most safety and the most sense of security. Right. And
Because
so,
society knows we have those insecurities. A lot of us aim to
yes,
people please and fit in and belong, and we're unique from birth. It's something
yes.
you don't have to challenge. You don't have to challenge
Mm-hmm.
yourself to be unique. You were born unique. There will
Yes.
never be another one before you or after you that's just like you. And I think that's very telling. That's
Mm-hmm.
very telling because the source is loving.
Mm,
Source is loving, and it makes everything went to. There's not even two leaves that are the same.
mm,
It's not two ants that are the same. So when people struggle to be unique, it seems like a trick because it's like, why do
mm,
you have to fight so hard to be unique? You were born unique. You were born unique. Just allow yourself to be you.
mm. But that's where that remembrance comes in, because when you're in that, when you've literally stripped yourself of your authenticity, you
Yes,
have to
you
remember.
have to. Yeah, man.
Like when
Yeah.
I'm working with clients who are like doing chakra work, so I have this course called Activate Your Soul, and it goes through the seven chakras. And the sacral chakra is around like it's connected to your emotional body. It's connected to the water element, the element of water,
Mhm.
and it's creativity. It's like raw, childlike, like creativity in its purest form, which is also connected to like our reproductive area. That's where the sacral chakra is in our
Mhm.
hips, where our reproduction is. And so when I'm working with clients, I have them. It's like the simplest. I love this era, the era of simplicity and sophistication. Like that's what I'm operating in right now, and it's the simplest work. And I remember when I was first building out this part of the course, I was like, are people going to think this is silly? Like, it's just the easiest thing to do. But like, I went back and I was
Don't
looking
allow
at
anyone
this
in
is
that thinks
how.
it's silly.
But I was just looking at like what has helped me connect to my inner child, what has helped me to remember my like purest essence of creativity, right? And that's what I have people do. I'm like, what did you like to do? Like, did you like to collect rocks? Were you really into like colors or Play-Doh, or were you really into like what were you really drawn to and fascinated
Mhm.
by? And that more often than not, that sparks something within someone. Just going back to that innocence, or giving themselves permission to tap into that innocence, because some people didn't get a chance to be kids when they were kids, you know
100. Yeah. A
and
lot of us grew
it's
up
like such a
young.
powerful force. Yes, a lot of us had to be got parentified, as they say,
Yes,
very
parentification.
very
Yes.
young. And so there's something very sacred and beautiful in tapping back into that inner child place of curiosity, of wonder, where everything is possible, where it's like you're just limitless, you're in that imaginal
You're
realm.
limitless. That's literally connecting back to source because that's how
Hmm.
children are.
Yeah.
That's how children are. Children, can you imagine? And it's so funny that you said that. Can you imagine being God, essentially? And then the next time you come from the darkness, you're coming out your mother's womb, and we're trying to tell you, hey, listen, you're not God anymore. Not like that.
Mm.
You are
Mm.
now in a little baby body, and you have to walk like a human now. And then, if you ever have children, I tell you, I'm a mother of two, proud mother of two. They think they can fly by jumping off the. It's like you can't fly. Like you're not that person. You're not
You're like,
infinity no
are
more.
you
Like
sure,
you,
mom?
it's like
Are you
you can't
sure?
fly, but you gotta build a machine that's gonna get you to fly. Mom, I could swim forever. If you don't come up for air, you gonna drown. Like you need to come up for air. You're not a fish, boo. You're not a fish.
Are you sure if I just breathe?
Because it's something so incredible to tell them, and
Yeah.
that's why some people think we're trapped here, right? But I always implore another perspective, even like you said with clients I teach, just we came from infinite power. You cannot think you don't have that inside you. That's the
Mm,
number one trick that they tell you. So creativity, like you're saying, the reason why we try to keep innocence in children is because they give us the best ideas because they're tapped
mm,
in. So it's just like, oh, if my daughter starts scribbling something down on paper and she don't even know how to say what it is, she doesn't know how to say it, pronounce it, she doesn't know anything, but she just starts drawing. Is that not inspiration? She doesn't know
mm,
where it came from. She doesn't know how she's even doing it. She doesn't even know how to phrase it. She doesn't know how to. If she picks up a piano, she's just like playing with chords. And it's like, oh wow, this sounds really. I remember this. I remember
mm-hmm,
music. Okay, let me plan this out. Let me play this out more.
mm,
We hear it as bah, 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 da, 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 da. Like we hear it like that. but she's remembering something ancient. She's
Mm.
remembering something divine. It's like, wow, sound. Not just sound like I was sound once, but
Mm-hmm.
sound through a human ear,
Mm.
sound through a human feeling. And we literally look at many gods and we try to tell them, hey, listen, God's still in you, but you flesh, right? So it's just like you can't do certain things and you can't because our duty as humans is to protect each other.
Right.
So it's like you can't do certain things inside that, but that's not me limiting you. That's me teaching you or guiding you back to what you chose to be this time. You
Mm-hmm.
chose to be a human being or you allowed yourself to be a human being. So as your mother, yes, you are allowed to express yourself, or as you're saying, even when we're older, allowing ourselves to come back to that innocence, allowing
Mm-hmm.
ourselves because it's always there. It's always
Yep.
there. Source never left. We let everything else come in. And as you know, with crown chakra, we cloud our own crown chakra. We
Mm-hmm.
automatically block it with certain things. And it really is a release to say, wow, I am just as creative, if not even more creative.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just give myself the time and the space to really tap into this meditation.
Mm.
Let me give myself the time. Let me set aside time because I make time.
Yes, come on
I'm
now.
letting the world
Time
make time for
creators.
me. I make time for me.
Yes.
I will
Yes.
make time and I will make time to sit in this space. If it's for 15 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, I will allow my house to be silent so that I can download this
Yeah.
and really remember, yeah, I could, if I imagine humans flying in 1,000 years, it probably happened. And it's probably where we're going back to if we
Mm-hmm.
allow ourselves to what is it, lovely, when you teleport?
Oh yeah. I was gonna say time travel.
Yeah, time travel, teleport. Come on now, we getting
Uh-huh.
somewhere. It's just like, how could people in the 70s and 60s think we could teleport? What they have around them that made them think we could do that? Because we tapped in.
So
God's
exciting.
God's intelligence, God's imagination is our imagination.
Mm-hmm.
We're only second to God's imagination.
Mm.
So just like you said, allowing yourself to be in that creative space again, it's literally the most powerful thing that we
Mm-hmm.
have is our
Yeah.
imagination and the way that we feel.
Yes, yes.
You know what I mean?
Neville Goddard calls God,
Yes.
he calls God your wonderful human imagination.
I was so
That is
happy when you
God.
reminded me of him. Like I
Yeah.
he I left him in like at 15. I'm not gonna lie. Like I completely like
Crazy.
think and you was just like, girl, when you say it sound like Neville God, I'm like, yo, you know how long it's been since I heard that name?
Mm,
How could he know that? Amickoleh, how could he know that?
mm. Him and Wallace D. Wallace. I was reflecting on him too, the science of getting rich, and he
The
was
science of
talking
getting
about
rich. Yes,
mm-hmm.
absolutely. It's like what are you tapped into
Yeah.
in the 90s and the 80s? And we think we
90s
doing
and the
something.
80s. This is like the
Goddess was
1900s.
yeah, yeah. This is the
It's like
1900s. I think
1910.
Goddess
Well,
in the 1950s and
yeah,
40s.
no, you're right. Yeah,
Yeah.
Neville Goddard is like he um
He's the 80s and
he
the
he
90s.
started this work. Yeah, he started this work during the Great Depression because he
Yes,
used to
yes,
be a
yes,
dancer.
yes.
I didn't
70s,
even know
60s.
that. I was like a
Okay.
dancer. What? And
Hmm.
that's what's got to him. He hit the Great Depression. He had no money. He had no resources, and he was trying to figure out what to do with himself. I think he had just moved to New York. It was like crazy. His story is
Mm.
so crazy, and he started doing this
He was
work.
eating
And
a Jello.
before
I know he was
that,
eating Jello meatloaf and all that other crazy recipes that was going on.
probably.
Yep.
But before that, it was Wallace D. Wattles, and he was he the Science of Getting Rich. I think was published in like 1910.
Yeah, you're right. It's an old
That's
teaching because
like yeah, because he
he
was
inspired
talking about
racism.
Rockefellers in his book. He was talking about Rock, and I was like, damn, what era is this?
Rockefeller and Ford? Jeez, girl. He with Harrison Ford them? Damn. Like, okay.
He was talking about Carnegie. I was like, okay,
Carnegie. Oh
this
yeah.
is
No, you're talking about the oil Johns. You're talking about all of them. The automobile, the oil, the banking. Oh yeah,
that was his era. Yes.
he talking about the science.
The science of getting rich, talking about how God is our imagination and like we're tapped into what does he call it? An impressionable source. So and we're the ones
Mm,
that are creating the impressions in within this source, this field of imagination.
I love that.
So it's like it's I
I
mean, if
love
this
that.
stuff has been around since that and that's just the Americanized version. Then these
You can only
people have been
imagine the
learning from
Eastern
the Eastern
version.
cult
Yes.
exactly.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yeah, man. That's why I said we all tapped in somehow. We're all tapped in. So like you said, it's just really um even going back to your belonging, right? Like, and I
Mm-hmm.
love that law because I love what it says about. I think it taps in more to, I have a law called the law of unity, and that we're all
Mm,
expressions of that divinity.
mm,
So it's
mm-hmm.
just like once you choose to express yourself, that is your belonging. Or
Yeah,
and you know what that kept
yeah.
coming up to me when you kept talking? I was just like, you make your own table. You don't gotta sit at anyone else's table. You make your own table. Yep.
That's one of my affirmations. Oh, I gotta read it now. Where did I put it?
Hey,
That's one of my
frequency,
affirmations.
synchronicity.
And you know what? It's so funny because I thought you said something earlier in the conversation. I thought about that. Um, but what hit me the other day when I was journaling, it was oh God, I want to get it word for word, but I might have to paraphrase. But it was talking
Okay, we
about, what
got
did I
time.
say?
Yeah.
She's like, we got time.
It's like also you make your own table. Don't force yourself to sit at someone else's table. You got your own.
It was like, what did I say?
Yeah, that's all that kept coming up for me when you were saying that about
I love
belonging. Like,
that.
yeah.
Yeah. It was, I think I said I create with the precision of my own reality.
Ooh,
That would felt like a very bold truth, but a very necessary truth that I needed to
I
recognize and
create with the
witness.
precision of my own reality.
Getting detached, because like it's so easy to do this work in a container, right?
Yes.
Whether that's yourself or you're in a community where people are thinking like this. But when you step out
Like-minded,
into the
yes.
world
Yep.
and there are people who are like, you're gonna do that? Or how are you gonna do that? Well, that doesn't make sense. Like, and then you're starting to
Hmm.
be
And you got to allow them to be them too, because I was that person.
exactly.
Listen, I was atheist, so I was that person. So it's just like, so yeah, you have to allow. Hey, listen, how you
And use it to fortify your belief system. Okay, if this
Mm-hmm.
is feeling challenged, what part of you doesn't believe? What part of you isn't anchored into this?
Yep.
You know, and it doesn't have
Yeah.
to be a, okay, am I
Why
meant
does
to
this
step?
have your interest?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Why
Absolutely.
does this have your interest? And are you going to buckle at the first little sign of some feedback or whatever? You
Listen,
know, like
girl, when I
really,
tell
you're
people
talking
I'm
about a challenge.
ex-atheist, it's a
Talking
crazy
about a
thing.
challenge.
Talk
Yes.
about it, because that's what
Oh,
you
okay.
invite challenge.
Exactly. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
it says, I am the woman who creates with the precision of her own reality.
Mm.
Reminding myself that like what I'm envisioning, what I'm building, it may not make sense to everybody. And it's not for everybody. It's not for everybody to make sense too. Right? Those people are going to come along later when they see the proof and they see the, oh shit, she did do it. Right? And so am I going to stand in my will? Am I going to stand in my power long enough to allow my vision to be made
And be
manifest?
made manifested. Absolutely.
And
Wrap it
that's
up. Hold on. Yes, yes. We're
and
gonna put that down.
wow,
We're gonna put that in the chat.
I love that.
We're gonna put it across. You said, I am a woman who moves with the precision of her own reality. Is
Who
it
creates with the precision of her own
creates
reality?
creates with the precision of
Creates.
her own reality?
Creates. Yeah, this channel through. It was my happy new year journaling. And I was just like, this is
Yes.
my new
At the top
frequency.
of the
Like this
year?
is how we get to build.
At the top of the year.
Yes, ma'am.
Gotta love it,
I
because
was like,
that's setting a
this is
strong
the new
foundation.
frequency. We gotta yes. And
Mhm.
it's like the whole thing with my work and in our work together, I feel like working off these energetic laws, working off these universal threads, what I'm understanding, and you even mentioned it earlier, like there's 200 different ways to make $1 million. There's 200 people, if not more, have written books, articles, all the kind of things, right?
Mhm.
And we choose to let that be our law or not. We choose to let that be our, oh, this is my rubric, this is my blueprint, this is my whatever.
Our
That's
sovereignty.
fine for the people who yeah, that's fine for the people who need that kind of structure. But there are those of us on this planet who are creating, innovating, visioning our own system, modalities, methods, etc. Right? And that's the charge for us is okay, what systems are you designing and creating for yourself that can then support other people, if
Yes.
not inspire them to build their own systems? And that's how I see my work. Like it's a framework for you to get grounded into, right? But
Mhm.
my goal and my hope is that once you establish and stabilize this framework, your own threads are going to be coming through. Your own energetic laws are going to be coming through. What does the law of belonging look like to you? What does that mean to you? What's the next version
Yes.
languaging of that?
Yes.
You know, and the same
I
with
call
the
it
law of
placeholders for
allowance.
now. Yeah, it's like it's
Yes.
my placeholder. Like it's where I
Mm-hmm.
feel comfortable at. But the
Mm-hmm.
minute I allow myself to be challenged, let's go at it.
Yeah.
Let's go at it. You tell me what this
Yeah.
means to you. But then it
Yeah.
grows. It grows and manifests into something more beautiful.
Mm.
Anytime humanity comes together like that, we create something better
Yeah.
because it's more. It's more of it. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
110%. It's a beautiful thing. It's a very beautiful thing. And it does
Yeah.
align with, like you said, like the 200 people who wrote those books. Hey, listen, they also had to allow themselves to be a little scared, right?
Yep.
Because man,
Yep.
like I'm not saying
They were
anything
doing
different
something
than
different
that
at
guy
one
and that
point.
guy and that woman and
Right.
that woman. I'm not saying anything different. No, you're saying it with the uniqueness you don't have to try to challenge yourself
Yes.
with. You're saying it with your
Mm.
voice. They are not your voice.
Say that part one
They're
more
not,
time. You're
oh,
saying it with what now? Say it
you're
again. What did I
allowing
say?
to create it with your uniqueness of your own voice,
Mm.
your own being, your own power, your own signature, your own DNA. You are uniquely designed from birth. So even if 200 people say the exact same way you do, like say it the exact same way, you will always say it uniquely different. And you know what that means? That means that there is someone out there uniquely hearing it. It's
Mm.
a frequency. It's a law of reciprocity. Listen, we're going to be tapping all the laws.
Well,
Law of
okay.
reciprocity. If you are speaking, there is someone there to hear it.
Mm-hmm.
Like they said, if the tree fall in the forest and doesn't make a sound, some people say yes and some people say no.
Mm-hmm.
So just because I'm speaking and no one hears me right now doesn't mean that there is not someone on this planet waiting to hear me. That doesn't.
Mm.
The minute I talk, someone ear twitched somewhere.
Mm.
Man, someone just said something exactly what I needed to hear. I just need to find where that person is so I can listen. You see what I'm saying? So it's just like
Mm-hmm.
we again, 200 people. How could Neville Goddard and them back in the 1900s? What you tapped into in the 1900s with the horse buggies? No cell phones? You kidding me? Newspapers, the paper boys. Here's your paper, newspaper, 5 o'clock. It's just like what you typewriters, penmanship. You sending pigeons still, and you sitting here telling me we're tapped into unique. So you can only imagine if they're home going like this. We're
Yo.
tapped into unique source, and we're just unique expressions of that source. And then we wonder why people thought that they were
Imagine the
that vibe.
kickback that they were getting. Right.
Listen.
Yeah.
We gonna tap
No.
into that this episode because you already know.
Yeah.
But the females had to do it in private. We could.
Yeah.
I'm downloading something. They're like, oh, witch, get her. So we're not gonna go there for her. But you can only
Mm-hmm.
imagine that. So it's just like you again. Why are you fighting so hard to be unique? Why are you fighting
Mm-hmm.
so hard to belong? Do you know the miracle it was for you to even get here? Do you know you one of a million sperm? One?
Mm-hmm.
And do you know
If
when you're
not billions, right? I think it's like
yeah, it's probably more than
billions.
that. It's probably like 5 million. But girl, don't take my biology card away. But I'm just trying to make it think. But it's at this point, it could be like 2 to 10 million or something like that. But it's just like you a real small odd. You a real
Mm-hmm.
small oddity. You a real small probability. And even in the body, because we're spiritual, even when you make the vessel, the spirit still has to come. So now you're
Mm-hmm.
sitting here going, man, and then I pick that vessel? Dang, I picked that one. I picked that family. I picked that lineage. Why? Why this lineage? Why this? And then that's what I meant by the power. Once you come back in that power, how could you not be grateful?
Mm.
What else would you rather be? Would you
Mm.
rather hate you made this choice? Would you rather hate that you became a human? Would you rather hate you picked that family? Would you rather hate that you picked those parents? Isn't
Mm.
that you diminishing your own power?
Mm.
So you would choose something that you live to hate?
Mm.
Hmm. Have to question that a little bit. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but I would force the question. That's why I force to my clients. When my one of my clients the other day literally said, "Oh, I think we're trapped here." Like she believes that this world is like a trick and she's
Mm.
trapped. And I'm just like, okay. And she's like, I don't know if that's wrong or not. I was like, it's not wrong because you're an expression. You're an expression. You can't be wrong.
Mm-hmm.
This is source. Source is loving you the way that you're talking. I said, but then my challenge would be this. Where do you think we go after this? Oh, well, we go back to source. I was like, so you came from what I call it the Holy Trinity. You came
Mm-hmm.
from ultimate divinity, the gods that precede all gods, the being
Mm.
that transcend all beings. And you and that being was one. Y'all were together. And you choose a life where you're trapped,
Mm.
or you choose for a God lesser than yours to trap you.
Mm.
That sounds like deception to me. It sounds like what they say Lucifer does. Because the only thing that's happening here is that you're robbing yourself of power. If
Wow.
you believe you're trapped here, you believe that someone controls you. That means you have no agency over your life. There's nothing that you call in. There's nothing that you sounds like a trick. Sounds like the trick that religions warn us about,
Mm.
which is the spiritual battle. It's the spiritual thing of, yeah, there are some spiritualities that are here to challenge that narrative. Even infinity has its dark side, like with nihilism, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then you're sitting here really wondering, and this is why I say I had a lot of perspective, because like you said, me and you like-minded, but if people come into challenge,
Mm-hmm.
people come into challenge. If you want to believe infinity doesn't mean anything to you and that we all here, so we all specks of dust, that's fine, which is what my client said. I was like, but then you have to really question, how do you think that God meant to trick you and make you insignificant when nothing is the same? You would think a God that doesn't care
Mm.
about you would make you the same as something else. Give us all, Mickey, me and you look different. You ever see someone who looks exactly like you? Because I know I haven't. In the past, present, or
Mm-mm. Not
future, even if,
exactly,
right, but
but
even if there's
I've
something a
seen
little off,
remnants.
listen, girl. And she's sitting here so like, wow, maybe I had it wrong. I was like, no, you didn't have it wrong. You're just remembering now. That's it. You didn't
Mm-hmm.
have it wrong because you had to be here for me and you to talk. You had to be right where you were. We found each other at the exact right moment in time. And all I'm here to do is to help you remember that.
Mm-hmm.
Don't let anybody take your power. Even look at the spiritual story you told yourself that you trapped on earth. What we
It's a
doing?
powerful story to tell yourself.
That's a pop. What? And then give the power to some ancient teacher, some ancient mentor that was just like, oh yeah, back in the day they said. Back in the day they said. So they not even alive. Like you can't go and smack that mentor. You know what I mean? Go like, what's wrong with
Mm.
you? Like, why are you telling people? No, it's some
You
people
tell
that's so
Coach
dead and
this.
gone. I'm just like, they came back. Like, it's you tell me where those people are for real, and I will
Mm-hmm.
go and speak to them myself. I was like, you're telling it yourself. So you can only imagine again how much power we have to create. Like you said, yo, don't even fight to belong. You already belong. You here. You already here. And all we have to do as humanity is get over our own security. Why are we so threatened when Amickoleh try to belong?
Woo!
And by that, why are you
Child.
threatened by anybody? You don't see the stars fighting. Stars don't fight. Stars shine where they are, and we see them all the time. We see all of them in their own unique pockets. And all them bright. You know why? Because if they a star, that means they visible. So you're not sitting here
Mm.
going like, oh, do you see that star fighting? Oh, they just can you imagine the little it's like they literally sit there like, look at these humans. I can't stand them. Like they watch us like reality TV. They be like,
Oh my God, I
look
love
at
that
these. When
visual
they gonna get that
so
they of
much.
us? They are children. When they gonna get it? Like
I love that visual so much. They watch us like reality TV.
yes, they do. You have to they listen, you know we African culture. They say that's our ancestors. Our stars our ancestors. Can you imagine them watching us? I was like, that's why you can't hide nothing from nobody because your great great grandmother watching you going like,
Up there looking at you. Look at this over here. Look at this one.
this child trying to skip school. And then you want to, Mom, how you know I skipped school? Because your great grandmother told me you skipped school. I knew you.
Okay.
You can't hide nothing. So you can only imagine. Again, the only thing we have to do is get around our insecurities. And what we do is we stop the bullying. So when you
Mm-hmm.
say, hey, listen, it's in our remembrance to remember we belong. And I'll say, okay, Mickey, I'll back you on that. Not only do we belong, but we choose that from birth. We
Mm-hmm.
give our place from birth here. Then every other human that's trying to stop your place is against you. Why would they be against you for? Not because they're evil, but because they're insecure. They think they
Mm.
have to snuff you out in order for them to shine.
Mm.
Stars don't snuff each other out. I've never seen a star fight yet. Yet. Stars don't fight, and they all shine. As
Mm.
above, so below. Hermeticism. Stars don't fight, so we shouldn't fight. Because if I'm looking to shine, I should enlighten you.
Mm-hmm.
I should boost and shine right beside you. So yes, allowing yourself to belong and the law of belonging, allowing yourself to be unique and allowing yourself not to fight that uniqueness. And
Yeah.
humanity working in turn, because you're seeing me and I'm seeing you, right?
Mm-hmm.
it's my job to you and my duty to you because you're just another me.
Mm-hmm.
You have curly hair and you have your glasses on, but you're just another me, right? It is my
Consciousness
job and
recognizes
duty.
consciousness.
It's my job and my duty to make sure if I was Mickey, I wouldn't want a door closed for her.
Mm,
If I was a Amickoleh, I would want her to shine as much as she could. Why would I be jealous? Why would I be envious? Why would I try to snuff her?
mm-hmm.
Why would I not allow her to sit with me? What you talking about? So it's a very powerful thing for sure. And I pray
Mm,
that again, we can just hope that humanity comes into remembrance. But I'm an optimist. People call me an optimist all the time. But I do believe we're trending in that direction.
I agree.
We
I
have to believe
agree.
if it's me and you, then there's more.
Oh yes, there totally are more. And it's really, what Spirit's been putting on my heart around like the center of my work. It's like it's really expanding people's consciousness.
Yes.
It's
Yep.
expanding people's consciousness to be able to understand what they really are capable of or available to, have access to. Um, and you had mentioned something earlier in the conversation of like, can you imagine once all of us are in our, I can't remember exactly what words you said, but more or less you were
Actualized
like,
potential, like
it
our
might have been something
realized
like that.
versions.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Or like our, I think you said willpower, or like our will, or
Yeah,
something with
yeah.
will. And when you said that, oh, I think to finish that sentence, I think you said in addition to that of um, like how we would be able to not control, what's the word, create different
Create.
things,
I was
create
gonna say
different
create.
realities. Yeah.
Yeah.
And when you said that, it jogged. What activated for me is like, yeah, like the earth becomes more powerful when the humanity becomes more powerful because we're going to be in relationship to the earth in a way where the earth gets to fulfill more of its highest potential, and then in
We are the
turn we get to
stewards of the
fulfill
earth. Absolutely.
exactly.
100%.
And what came up for me around that even more deeply is like I used to always question in the Bible, like how come like miracles, they call it miracles, it's magic, whatever. Magic, miracles, it's all the same thing, it's all the same,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
you know. And I just could never understand, well, how come like, okay, so you're telling me back in the Noah days they could do all this and do all that and turn water into wine and do this and
And I'm
X, Y,
sitting
and
here turning
Z, blah
on a
blah
pipe to
blah.
get my hot water. I can't just will rain. Like I
And
just
I
can't
could
click.
never understand that. Yeah, I was like, well, where did the magic go? Where how come all the
Oh,
miracles
that's
went
such a
away?
powerful question.
And
That's
I
such a
do
powerful
I do feel
question.
like also miracles have like I think it's transitioned to fit the times,
Yeah,
but I
yeah,
think that's even
absolutely.
more telling that
Yes.
they've transitioned to fit the times. And it's not just as like, oh, I just like, there's giants and there's this and there's that walking among us and all these like magical, miraculous things.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like a lot of that shifted and transpired because consciousness got smaller, 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 that to the point we many people can't even perceive. They'll read that in the Bible. They'll read this stuff in the Bible. It'll go right over their head. It'll
Yeah.
right through them. They won't have a second thought about it because they're just so trusting in words,
And I
and
think
not
the
and not
message to a
bringing any
disservice too.
life to those
Mhm.
words and like
Yeah.
how it actually applies to them. I don't want to get on top of religion. I guess
No,
we're
no,
here talking
listen,
about religion,
girl,
right?
listen. We got a couple minutes, so we lead
I
into next
know.
episode.
Right,
This the
exactly.
cliffhanger to
Yeah,
next episode.
right, exactly. All
But
right, we're
no,
gonna put a
no,
pin
tap
into
on
that.
it.
I
Tap on
agree.
it.
I agree, but that's one of the things that like really disenfranchised me with religion because it's like, and yo, man, you and I have gotten so deep around religion too. I just remember a conversation we had a few weeks ago.
We tapped
But I
in.
feel like that's one of the
Yeah,
how religion disenfranchises people. It's
yeah.
like it's this source that's outside of us. So when you start talking about and they'll tell you God is within you, but not too much God. You can't do too much like God. You can't be too much like God. Now wait a minute. Now you're getting a little too big for your britches. And I'm like, wait,
Hey, why
what?
you stop? Why you capping me? Why you capping? It's like it's literally you're putting a cap on me.
Mm-hmm.
And you know us. If you put a cap on it, I'm gonna try to break through. You can't put a seal on me not try to bust through and see what's above it. Like it's just like what? How you figure? But no, you're right, and that's such a. I love that. Where did the magic go? That's such a man. That's such a great question. I explain it through the frameworks for myself and anyone who comes in who just tries to understand it.
Mm-hmm.
But we had, like you said, so much abundance of it. And I haven't lived thousand of years ago,
Right. We weren't around
AD.
in
All I'm saying is that
2052 BC.
that giant stuff,
All
beings
up in the
coming down
Bible.
from
And I'm
heaven.
like, right. I'm like, where'd all the stuff go? What
If you read
happened?
Enoch sound like Greece, and the angels came down, and something happened, and
Mm,
I'm just like, and we see, the giants built the pyramids. They called it another giant. It was called the Anunnaki, and they did this, that, and that. And you're sitting here going like, man, like, why does every culture say that? Why does everybody, like, everyone's tapping into this ancient history, and we live now in a world where, and I get it, I get why it had to happen, but we have to bring that back, right? Like, we don't do ourselves any service by completely abandoning something that not only happened, but has our DNA in there,
mm,
has our potential in there. Like, it's just like you, the way that we transitioned, it's almost like, okay, I get it. We had to come down to nature. We had to kind of conquer it, right? We had to kind of conquer the
hmm
earth, get the systems and stuff in place. And then masculine energy comes in and is like, okay, we are the physical embodiment. We are the logical embodiment. We're going to make sure that we have all the justice, systems, laws, regulations, data, analytics, technology. Perfect. But don't you know before you did any of that,
mm,
there was a thought behind you, a love behind you, an idea behind you, and that is where your power comes from, even if you're expanding it there. And I think it's
mm,
something that I'm glad being a woman, choosing to come down as a woman, that
hmm
femininity holds the power of. We hold the power over emotional and spiritual intelligence. It doesn't mean that every human doesn't have it, but
hmm
females lead in that. We lead the guidance in that. So now you're sitting here going like, hey, listen, where did the magic go? It only went where women don't speak.
mm.
It only went away where women don't speak. Because wherever women speak, I hear magic. I hear mermaids. I
Mm.
hear giants. I hear chakra. I hear soul medicine. I hear let's pray and let's get this demon. I hear all that around women. Everything around women. I just be like, dang, crystals, salt. Who used to sprinkle the salt? You want to know who
Mm.
used to sprinkle the salt for us? My great grandmother. Go like, wait, hold on. You're not about to come out of this house. Come in backwards. Walk in backwards. Close the door and sprinkle salt behind you. Ain't that crystals? Ain't salt just crystal?
Mm.
And then the demon stop. The spirit that was on you would stop at the door and start banging. How your grandmother
Mm.
know how to do that? So again, I'm blessed to be a female human being. And I'm
Amen.
sitting here going like, man, no, the magic ain't stopped for us. The
Mm.
world needs us to speak more magic now. And
Mm.
let us tell them it's never been a fantasy. It's never not been there. We have been
Wow.
we females, we see spirits without even imagining it. Oh, not him walking around all heavy. Look at his aura. He's just
Mm.
like, and then
Just
women,
that inner knowing, that sensing, that sensory
a whole group of
ability.
girls will walk into a club going, girl, I'm not feeling this. What you mean? What you talking about? What you mean you're not feeling this? What is, you talk to any logical person, they like, what's she talking about? She feeling? She just walked in. Like,
Hmm
mm,
Nothing didn't even happen yet.
right. And he's like, oh, girl, I don't know. I don't feel it. And then your girl next to you like, yeah, girl, I feel the same thing. How y'all feeling it? Everyone chilling. Everyone in the club just sitting there talking, chilling. I don't know. You're like, I don't feel good here.
hmm
Something's wrong. Let's go to another one. We've been tapped in, and that's part of uniqueness. When we pick this form, we don't have to force that. We
Mm.
don't have to force it. It's just like, oh yeah, like this stuff is real. So the magic part is where we bring this back into the world because the world needs it now. The world needs the magic now. Or how they say, I love when they coin the phrase black girl magic. We
Yeah.
need the magic. We need the emotional and spiritual connection. We don't have enough leadership positions in church, mosque, synagogues, temples, museum. It don't matter what holy
Yeah.
institution you're talking about. Females don't have enough leadership power there. So
Yeah.
because of, like you said,
Or
there's
any at all. Some of them that you just spoke about, it is not in the practice
it's
to
gonna
have any
what? It's
female leadership.
blasphemy. It's blasphemy to have a female pastor or a female imam or why? Why do you think that God would sit here and make us only two? There's only two things you are, no matter what. They even say the racism thing is a lie. It's like, yo, you
Oh
grow up
yeah,
in
that's the
culture.
biggest
Right.
scam in all of humanity.
Yeah, you grow up in culture. So there's only two things you know for sure when you're born, even before you get your name. You female or male and you a human. That's it. Everything else come after. If you want to change your name, change your name. If you want to change your culture, go change your culture. Go across the world. Be you. Go experience all the uniqueness that Source has to offer. and find the like people that's like you. But we don't have enough of those leadership positions. And because of, like you said, when we say where's the magic go, I always hear it with us. I always hear it
Mm.
with us who are like-minded, and it happens to be female, some male, because some males will get it and be like, hey, listen, but you know what's funny? All the males that sit here in the space will push the women and be like,
Oh
you
yeah,
guys need to
I've
speak
noticed
more.
that
You
too.
guys need to
Yeah,
do, because
or just wanting to be underneath that council of female leadership. A lot of, I won't say a lot. I've
Mhm.
been noticing a shift in that and even just an influx of like male clients. Like
Yeah.
I was reflecting on that the other day. I was like, wow, I'm like working with my third male client that just, and it's been very like, they just found me somehow through a group or through whatever at the park, at the dog park, like,
Yeah.
whatever. But I've just been noticing like, okay, so spirit wants me to work more with the masculine
Because you're
energy.
a spiritual mentor.
Mm-hmm.
So they say the student seeks his mentor.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever they're ready, we just have to be available.
Yeah.
But anyone who wants to come back to learn an emotionality or, like you say, the magic, they'll find one of us
Mm-hmm.
because we never forgot it. It's born into our DNA. We knew it existed. We just trying to tell y'all. Y'all sitting here trying to feel, touch, see, grab, smell. And it's just like, if you don't close your eyes and sit in the dark for a second, no, not the dark. Yeah, sit in the dark. Sit from where you came. You was in the darkness of the room. Sit in a
Mm-hmm.
dark room and
Mm-hmm.
feel everything. Feel it. And if
Hell,
you
God was in the
scared,
dark.
that's why people be scared. Because in the
God
dark,
is in the dark. That's how he created. That's how they, if you want to speak on Bible, you know more about script religious texts than I do. But I know in the Bible, in the beginning,
it was
there
dark and
was
the
what?
void.
There was the
Yeah.
word.
And darkness was
Yes.
upon the face of the deep. Yeah. Yeah. Hmm.
Like, we can, and I can't wait for us to even talk about like shadow medicine and going into the darkness, because you and I have had so many
The
conversations around that.
dichotomy of that. Yeah. Because
Just
it's a
my
beautiful
own personal
dance.
experiences of like moving through the underworld of
Yes.
our lives and of our humanity, and being able to extract the wisdom and the gems and being able to survive the
Talk about
journey into
it.
the underworld. We can talk about that too,
We gave ourselves a hell of
because
a life,
that it
girl.
already
We
huh.
gave ourselves a hell of a life. Listen, I don't know if I could have wrote this. Listen, this is why God make you forget, right? Because I was just like, did I really write this story? Damn, like, why would I do that? And it's just like, because you wrote your story. You could make it through because you
Mm,
wrote your story. You author your story. So yeah, man, I can't
mm.
wait till we tap into that either because there's a lot of power in it. It's a beautiful light and dark is a beautiful
Mm-hmm.
dichotomy. It really is. It really
Mm-hmm.
is. Your shadow self
Mm-hmm.
and your light self, like that's it's brilliance.
Yeah.
It's
And
brilliance.
being able to use it skillfully, we can call it the
Apply
law of
it.
polarity, the law of duality, but what it does, having those separations, it allows you to see all the in between. It allows you to get clear on the black and the white, the good, the bad, whatever you want to call it.
Yes.
And then it just allows you to appreciate nuance so much more, because you realize,
Come together.
you mentioned it with Buddha about not needing to live in either extreme. You realize once you're able to extract the medicine that you need from those places, you realize, oh, actually, I don't have to choose. I could find a middle ground that creates the most harmony and the most peace, and that's how I've been really allowing myself to work with duality and polarity. It's like,
Absolutely.
what can I extract from this so that I can create wholeness from this? It's not to be separate,
It's not to be
right? But it's to
separate. It's
find that. It's
accepting
to find that.
everything.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. I'm telling
Yeah,
you, we have a lot to dig into,
we
girl. I
sure
think
do. This is
I
just the
think we gave y'all a
beginning.
little bit of a listen. Listen, it goes deep here. Like we told you the
Yeah,
metaphysics comes out, the theology comes out, the sacred medicine come out. It's just it's a beautiful space. And again, Amika, let me know if you agree with me, but I think it's a blessing to serve. And I hope that whoever
absolutely.
knows coming in here that we're just here to serve. We're
Yeah,
talking.
and a
We really
privilege.
hope
This work is
something
a
we say
big
resonates.
privilege. Yeah.
Yes. We hope something that we say resonates with you. Maybe you feel down and out. Maybe you feel like, man, where's my people? Where's my community? Where's my, I'm asking the whys. I'm asking why Creator did this, why God did that. I'm asking why I allowed myself to go through that. Why did I allow myself in that relationship? Why did I allow myself to get bullied? Why did I allow myself, like,
Mm.
we're hoping and praying that you know that you're not alone in any of these questions. And we're just here, if you allow us to guide you back to remembering those answers for yourself. Because once you
Yes.
do, I'm telling you, anyone who's listening, you become the most powerful version of you. And
Hmm.
I would challenge everybody, y'all have not seen what is to come yet. You have not seen it yet. We have such a
Amen.
beautiful future ahead of us. We really do.
Hmm. Amen. So we're
Yes.
going to create it.
Yes. We're going to create
We're
it
going to
all
create it. We're going
together.
to allow it. Okay.
Yes. We are going to create it.
We're
We
going
are
to
going to create
thrive.
heaven on earth, girl. heaven and the cosmos. People gonna be coming from different planets to come here. They're gonna
Come
be like,
on
hey,
now.
listen, what y'all doing over there on Earth 212-816? It's like, yeah, we chilling. We solved world war, we solved hunger, we solved poverty. We just chilling. Look, we sitting here talking to lions and stuff now. We good. Oh, can y'all help us with such and such? We think about it.
We on our break right now, right? We on our break. We just got here now. We on our 7th day.
We sleeping right now. Give us a second. It's so true. It's like, now we not 7th day. We sleeping. Don't.
Yeah.
Peace be still be with you. We'll find you light years away somewhere. We'll come. We're
gonna get there. Okay?
Yeah. But guys, we hope you enjoyed the first episode, ladies and gentlemen. If you're tuning in, please look out for any updates on Instagram, our YouTube channels. We will leave everything in the captions below, so you guys know where to find us. We'll leave our handles. I think this was a beautiful first episode.
Me too.
What do you think?
I loved it. Yeah, it was everything it needed to be plus more.
Yes. And again, the Most High will it and allow it. We will come back with many, many more, and we'll be talking to you and more of you, hopefully, in the next episode. So until that, everyone, Order of Remembrance, guys. Welcome back to the Order of Remembrance.
Yes.